Okay, bevor sie das macht, möchte ich nochmal den Brief hier, die Karte lesen oder mir angucken. The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. Ah, what is it? The way the envelope is torn. I'm almost sure I've seen that exact same shape somewhere else. Oh, you don't mean... Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. Genau. They go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card. The details of Miss Green's card have been updated in the court record. A note in an envelope that seems to have been ripped open rather roughly. The envelope fits perfectly with the torn off piece found at the scene of the crime. The details of the torn off end of envelope have been updated in the court record. A ripped piece of an envelope that was found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. It fits perfectly with an envelope in Miss Green's possession. Alles klar. All clear. Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business. I was at the tavern, for I had bespoke my supper. Jetzt können wir das da Beweise und Beweis präsentieren. The tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis the jewel in the East End. And a little unexpected, I feel. Ja, wegen Preis und so. Ja, ist bisschen teuer, ne? Nicht ein Establishment, was so jemand wie Mr. Shakespeare aufsuchen würde. Als es war, die Menüliste hat Premium Brotkrusten und Wassergläser in verschiedenen Höhenleveln. Ich hätte erwartet, dass Grub's Grubbery in der Nähe mehr angemessen für ihre Mittel ist. Wässrige Suppe und matschige Bohnen. Oder eher suppiges Wasser und bohnenhafter Matsch. Alles gleichermaßen appetitlich. Ich wollte nur ein bisschen Wasser trinken in einem anderen Pub. Was ist falsch damit? Wie verschieden kann Wasser wirklich sein? Ich weiß, dass hier gerade vor allem wir den Dialog schon kennen, ne? Aber es klappt erstaunlich gut, das auf Deutsch zu übersetzen. Oder vielleicht ist da eine plausiblere Erklärung. Ein spezifischer Grund, warum er zu diesem genauen Establishment gehen musste. Ja. Der Fakt, dass er genau an dem Tag in diesem Platz gedient hat, ist ungewöhnlich, ist verdächtig. Also Mr. Shakespeare hat seine Actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious, genau. I wonder if we have some evidence. Ja, haben wir. So, genug Deutsch geredet. Mr. Shakespeare. Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speaks. Very well, I will present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day, namely... Take that! I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads... I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 PM on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shakespeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing. are exactly as described in this note. Ah! Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspeare? Well... Excuse me, can I say something? Yes, Miss Green. That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it? Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely... My lord, may I? May you what, Miss Green? I'd like to make something very clear about that card. Very well then, you may amend your testimony to include details about the peculiar note. Okay, was kommt jetzt? This note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the old man next to me here.
Hold it!
I think you said that you received it the day before the incident, didn't you? Yes, that's right. There appears to be no indication of the sender's name or address on the envelope. It was in my letterbox and that's all I know, I'm afraid. I've no idea who sent it. Ja, aber wie kann sie dann ausschließen, dass es nicht von Mr. Shamspeare ist? I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Who is this Duncan Ross, please? A friend of mine. He attended the same art school as I do. He passed away in a tragic accident a month ago, now though. Das war ein bisschen mehr als ein Freund, ne? Verlobter. I wasn't sure what to make of it now, to be honest, but in the end I decided to go. So you found out what the information was? Of course I didn't. You're not thinking straight. Will's on her way there. She was stabbed in the back. As my learned friend hopefully remembers. Ah, yes, of course. She never made it to the meeting. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you okay. Ja, doch, Mr. Shamspeare hat nichts damit zu tun, dann müssen wir den abgerissenen Umschlag präsentieren, natürlich. It's worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. Alright, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere. Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that. Ah, yes, of course. And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Ja, doch, in dem Fall schon. Zack, zack. This note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here. Das stimmt nicht.
Objection!
The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital. Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me. Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is. What do you mean? Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's a torn off end of an envelope. Oh. Is it? And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received. Oh, where did you find that? In Mr. Shamspeare's room. Eh? In my room? Mr. Shamspeare, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well... Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions of the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and sell it on Briar Road at 5 PM on 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green. Ah, what did I do? As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession? I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all. There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry, you has to what? You broke... I mean, you were in my room. What on earth? Do you want with me? Warte, was? It's only one. Ah, okay. Hä? Wieso? Das verstehe ich jetzt nicht, warum sie in das Zimmer eingebrochen sein soll. Er kann das doch auch einfach gesendet haben, oder nicht? It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. Miss Green. Yes? With you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events. Anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Yes, I know. Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received. Witness Testimony. Ja, aber warum sollte sie einbrechen für die Note, wenn das sowieso an sie adressiert worden war? Warum hat Chansfield ihr dann das nicht einfach geschickt? Das verstehe ich irgendwie nicht. The anomaly of the note. I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago. Peradventure, that note was delivered unto me. Peradventure? Vielleicht. Oh lol. Peradventure. Okay, das ist ein altes englisches Wort, aber es heißt vielleicht. That note was delivered unto me. On the day which were therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished. Warte, was? Ach so, er hat die Note bekommen. Ihm wurde das gesendet, er hat die gar nicht geschrieben, okay. Okay, das macht dann wiederum Sinn, okay. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, did you? Why would I? I can't point out the villain here, and as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it. You now claim to have received this letter do you, Mr. Shakespeare? Faith, 'tis so, my lord, and I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was a lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying. I beg your pardon. I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? Okay. I do remember, okay. I set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Okay, I beg your pardon. I'm just a fledgling artist. As I said, fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is. Okay. How do we explain the fact then? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shakespeare's. I don't see why I should explain. Zoe? I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is to just to say what happened. That's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer. The fledgling will do this best. Fledgling heißt frisch gebacken. Achso, oder jung. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses. Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shakespeare's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquires the note. Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. Okay. Cross-Examination. Ob das schon die letzte Cross-Examination ist, ich bin mir nicht ganz sicher. Weil die Musik würde ja sagen, aber sie haben jetzt nicht gesagt, oh, das ist bestimmt die letzte Cross-Examination, bin ich mir sicher. Aber müssen sie ja nicht immer sagen. The anomaly of the note. I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, peradventure, that note was delivered unto me. Hold it! And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all? Nay, sire, 'tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Aber warum sollte ihm jemand schreiben, jo, ich kann dir das Geheimnis von dem Tod von Duncan Ross erzählen? Was hat er mit Duncan Ross zu tun, ist die Frage. 'Tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily, 'tis impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you? Alack, if the choices be twixt, I knew him, and I knew him not. Then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted. Despite your claims though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Presumably that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature. Marry, naught will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So 'twas true. I was compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet, in the end, my curiosity was not satiated. On the day with the inn, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Hold it! So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared. Well, yes, sire, 'tis as you says. Really? You pause for a moment before you answer. Wait, hat sie dann vielleicht den Brief geschrieben? In truth, when you ask whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall. Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all? I was not alone that night at the Slug and Salad, my lord. No, 'tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water, and mine innards to a premium crust of bread. And all around me danced a great many companions. What do you mean? Flies, sire, flies. Oh nein, Fliegen. Good lord. In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a Midsummer Night's Dream, come to taunt me? I think they were just flies. I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? Nee, ist es nicht. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the notes that had vanished. Hold it! When exactly did you notice it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts never occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such idle thoughts never occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. And yet, during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shakespeare's room. Ah, yes. Yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir? You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came to by the note. Ah! I am not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh, dearie me. What's Lord Van Zieks getting at? I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I?
Hold it!
It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened, except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings. Das würde aber dagegen sprechen, dass sie den Brief selber geschrieben hat, ne? Also, dafür sprechen würde es halt, dass niemand zu dem Treffen gekommen ist in dem Pub. Aber dagegen spricht halt, warum sollte sie den Brief wieder geholt haben?
Objection!
But for what reason would the witness have done that? Ah, I won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come to be in possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings though? Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruhodo. We are close now, I can feel it. We are so close to a breakthrough. Ich muss mir das nochmal durchlesen. I don't know what you mean. You think that snow was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare by one... Does it? Okay, das haben wir gelesen. Was war das davor nochmal? Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished. When exactly did it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts never occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. In other words, you did notice. Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsuma's visit to your room. It would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such idle thoughts never occupy my mind. I am busy with greater ideas. And yet, during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she not? Okay, sie war komatös und deswegen konnte sie nichts stehlen. Okay. Okay. Also Van Zieks tolerated auch keine Unstimmigkeiten in ihrer Aussage. Aber ich weiß nicht, wir pressen erstmal noch das letzte Statement, weil ich bisher noch nicht weiß, wo wir was präsentieren könnten. I can point out the villain here, and as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it.
Hold it!
So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it? I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters. Introverted? Fie! This fledgling doth really readily cast aspersion about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song, the wind doth frolic on my wings. Oh pity, wherefore dost thou accuse one so pure of heart, every woman? Oh man, eh? Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you are just a failure. Tragedy. Thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh the days, oh the years, alas to enlighten thee, thou most wait so long and in vain. Mr. Naruhodo, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine. I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mr. Sato. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Yes! clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shakespeare's room, isn't it? And that's where she found this letter. Yes, two more or less foregone conclusions that led me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying? Yes, I'm afraid to say that the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. Okay. I do remember now, it was a week ago, per adventure that note was delivered unto me. Okay, ich glaube, das ist nicht sus, das Statement. On the day with the inn, I did tarry a long hour at the Slack and Cellar, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished. What do you mean? You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? Why would I? Ich glaube, da müssen wir was präsentieren. Ich speichere mal kurz.